are you doing? Just popping in here to talk about public transit. I last week, the 8th, August 8th of 2024, it's 8/8/24, so you can't tell me that there isn't some prime number kind of hijinks going on there. But the BART system went down from Bayfair Station to Berryessa Station. It was a computer issue that they had, and that was it was rectified. Everything went fine, but it was amazing at the mass amount of people. I mean, I think they figured it out at 10 o'clock that they had to shut down stations. By 12 o'clock, they shut down the stations from Bayfair to from Bayfair to Berryessa, and then at 4 o'clock, Warm Springs to Berryessa was open, and then by 6:30, the stations were back up and running, and it was pretty intense. But here in San Francisco Bay Area, we're not dealing with a thunderstorm or a tornado or, I mean, we did have an earthquake, and I mean, knock on wood for that. Um, it was pretty interesting in the sense that one, we were able to get around. I don't know if you saw some of the shorts that I did. Um, but also the fact that there was so many people impacted. And I have been taking public transit for 24 years. Um, I was the year 2000. My car broke down on 87, I think it was 87, and it was my coworker that helped me figure out the bus system. And even when I was in Dallas, when I got lost, I was on Beltline Road because there was a bus system. I was following a bus route system. But it's also why I don't live in Dallas or in Texas or in Salt Lake City, Utah, or any of those places because they don't have the transit system that we have here. I understand I should go to Chicago. Chicago's having a little bit of a weather. I'm not quite sure about it. I understand New York is really good. I just can't, you know. I need to see a mountain. I need to see a mountain. But for the most part, it's been interesting to see this reaction to public transit and the fact that I lost out on a job because I was honest that I did take to public transit. Um, and it was an environmental company that didn't want to hire me, and they said you need a car for this job, and I was like, there's nothing to say that I can't do the job without a car. Usually one thing that public transit has taught me is time management really well. Um, Public transit has taught me how to manage time, how to manage money. When I was in 2000, when I had to sign up for a monthly pass to take a transit, the Santa Clara Valley Transit is the authority. I think it was like $35. And then, so that was the year 2020, 2000, the year 2000, it was, sorry, it was $35. I think this year it's 110 a monthly pass. So that's pretty amazing, in 24 years to do that. Um, I don't support all the public transit initiatives anymore. Um, there are some agencies that don't do well, but we need to stop demonizing people that take public transit. If you take public transit, you're supposed to be saving the environment. And trust me, after 24 years of taking public transit, I can honestly say it takes more than one person to save the environment. And it's surprising how much the environment after taking public transit has like survived and not survived. It's pretty interesting. That being said, um, I have seen the gamut on public transit, and I can honestly say that it's not a bad thing. Governor Newsom had the opportunity to give 3 months free public transit to the entire state of California. Instead, he gave us, I think, $150 or $300. So you can kind of see where, like, who won out there. Not the environment, because who was going to take, public transit? Who was going to trade in their car to take public transit because it was free? Um, there's study after study after study that says, taking public transit is good. And yet, in areas that are impacted by weather, like Houston, like Florida, um, like New Jersey, you're not seeing the the well rehearsed transit. If you do watch City Nerd, it'll be in the community thing, and basically, I take public transit because I have money left over to take a car, to rent a car if I need to. I have money left over to invest in my savings. Um, it is more expensive. 24 years later, I'm not just taking one transit agency, I'm taking two. I'm traveling 50 miles instead of 25. Um, so I do understand some concerns, but at the same time, taking public transit really does make a difference. And you can take public transit. It was a hiccup. It was one day. There is public transit that, for whatever reason, in Houston, Texas, that hasn't resumed yet. And I mean, it's been over a month. So how do those people get to jobs? How do they get around? Um, it's pretty telling when you're seeing that. So, this is your Wednesday vlog.